Thank you. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Dear friends and voters, we are right in the middle of this election campaign. Things are heating up, and I'm quite sure you are very excited because the polling day, the day of reckoning, is near. And the ones who are going to sit in judgment is going to be you.
Yes.
Before this campaign started, months ago, we did a survey rather extensively to ask people what the issues are. The most pressing issues. And it came up over and over again. The cost of living. And then when I go on my round, visiting people door to door, I almost always ask them, is there something you want me to speak up on your behalf? Most of the time, they told me the cost of living. Well, think about it, really. If prices are high, and if you have also a high wage, salary, that's not a big problem, isn't it? But the huge problem is here in Singapore, many of us are surviving with just enough. And very often, not even enough. I know in my own circle of friends and acquaintances already, there are people who take 2 jobs at once. They finish one job and then they can't just go home to be with their family. They have to hop on to another job, moonlighting. Well, if you like doing that, that's fine. If that's your hobby, that's fine. But a lot of people are doing that because they have no choice. Thank you very much. Just not too long ago, I was at Yuhua, and I was going on my round, shaking hands. And, you know, my Chinese is not the best, but I tried. I saw 2 uncles sitting there having their breakfast. So I approached them. And I say, 我是陈良玉候选人，到时多多支持我们。And he says, 不要怕，我一定支持你们的。民主党是吗？ So I show my little logo here and say, 对了，投红色的哈，不要投白色的。Then before I could go away, he rolled up his sleeves and he said, 看看，上个月我刚开刀，花了整10万块。I said, wow, that's a lot. 这样多吗？ He says, yes, 是的。我不清楚呢，为什么我们的卫生部长他能够开刀8块钱而已。你跟我讲他怎么样做得到？ I look at him with all the sympathy I could gather in my heart. I say, 我真的不知道. I don't know myself. How do you explain that to an old retiree who have worked hard all his life and only to find that his savings are totally drained because of one surgery? When this issue was brought up to Mr. Kaur about the cost of living generally, he said, "Oh, but cost of living is a global problem." And he struck the entire issue away. Tell me, just because it is a global problem, does that mean that you, as our government, do not have the responsibility to solve that problem for us? As our elected representative, our ministers, they have that responsibility to solve our problems. They are paid to do just that. You know, it's really strange. In Singapore, ministers can get away with such lame answers. Just shrug it away. I recall some years ago when the Minister of Home Affairs, Mr. Wong Kan Seng, was asked by a reporter to make a comment that there are people out there who says that Singapore is a police state. What do you have to say about that, Mr. Minister? And he said, laughingly, "Ha ha ha ha, where are the police?" Lame answers. And they get away with it all the time. Lame answers. You, the people, is going to change that this election. Will you? We want to make them accountable for every issue, for every problem, whether it's created by them, and there are many of those, or it's just a global problem. No more lame answers. Just a few days ago, I was in Sembawang. I saw this old lady, auntie. He was sitting on the floor, eating some wonton mee. And I went over and I say hi and shook her hand, introduced myself as usual, and asked her for support. She doesn't really know what I was saying. She doesn't even know that election was down around the corner. I suspect she doesn't even know what election is all about. All she told me was, "Oh, this food was given to me by my son." I said, "Oh, that's very nice of your son." And before I could say anything, he says, "I collect paper cartons for a living. Do you have any?" I said, "No, I don't really have any paper cartons for you. But my supporter who was next to me pulled out $10 for her." Well, we can pull out $10 for an auntie like that. But how long will that $10 last her? Not very long, I suspect. It is a systematic problem that our government has failed over and over to address. They keep bragging that we are a rich nation. Maybe we are. And if we are, it is even more immoral to see citizens not being cared for. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what you can do. If you are totally fed up already about the low wages in Singapore, skyrocketing inflation prices, if you are totally fed up already that our government is arrogant and uncaring for the welfare of citizens like us, if you are totally fed up already that you are treated as a second class in your own very country, there is only one thing you must do. You got it. Vote for the SDP. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.